Breaking from Detroit quiet phones got loud tonight. There's a move on the board that flips third downs, slams the door on bootlegs, and makes every NFC North tackle think twice before the snap. Not a splash for headlines. A hammer for Sundays. If this goes where the conversations are pointing, coordinators start their week with an eraser, not a pen. This is leverage on the edge, violence in the C-gap, and a closer who turns long yards into short stories. You want a real promise? Here it is. I'm going to show you how one addition forces protections toward the boundary, unclogs the interior for games and stunts, and give Aiden Hutchinson the cleanest rush lanes he's had all year. We'll hit money without panic, draft capital without fear, usage by down and distance, red zone calls, and why this profile is exactly what travels in wind, cold, and noise. No spoilers yet. Stay with me because this is the kind of football that wins in January. Welcome back to Lions. News Fan Report. This is the room for fans who read tape and remember the hits. If you ride with smart aggression, tap in, like, subscribe, bell on. We keep receipts, we talk ball, and we ask for the details that turn nice idea into 4 quarters of pain. Introduction. Detroit doesn't need a new identity. It needs one more finisher. You've got culture. You've got Hunt. You've got a front that leans on people snap after snap. What's missing is the second edge who demands respect on every down, so offenses have to pick a bad option. When that stress is real, everything else calms. Your back end sees shorter routes, your simulated pressures bite faster, and your scoreboard starts to look mean. Right now, opponents are doing math they like. Chip Hutch, slide to the hot side. Live in quick game, take the air out of the rush. A second closer shreds that plan. Suddenly play action is a gut check, not a green light. 2nd and 7 becomes 2nd and long. Quarterbacks feel the pocket breathing on them instead of for them. That's not hype. That's a chain reaction across 60 minutes. Let's talk picture. Pair a long-arm power rusher with first-step shock on the opposite edge. Live in 5-man surfaces when you want to dictate, bluff and bail to 4 when you want to bait, spin late, and win with games that force guards to pass off under stress. On outside zone, set a brutal edge. On counter, squeeze the C-gap so the puller has no runway. Good defense is a sequence. Great defense is a sequence with finishers. Culture multiplies talent. This locker room respects players who work, hit, and shut up. A veteran who knows hand placement at 9 yards, who steals a rep with leverage more than chatter, who resets the huddle after a negative play that guy doesn't need 3 pressers to fit in. He needs 1 padded practice and a Sunday. That's how you raise the standard without changing the voice. Money matters, and you know it. There's a right way to add edge violence without mortgaging tomorrow. Structure over splash. Incentives for playtime and production. Base you can live with, escalators that protect your future. The move is not can we afford it. The move is will we still like it in 18 months when the extensions arrive? That's grown-up roster building, and that's where Detroit is. Here's the runway, if the call gets made. You don't parachute a newcomer into 60 snaps and pray. You script a ramp, 28 to 32 snaps in week 1, heavy and high leverage, plus 2-minute and 4-minute packages. Teach your twist language early, expand by the second game, and by Thanksgiving, he's not a package. He's part of your personality. Keep it simple. Keep it violent. Keep it Detroit. Now the reveal the move being discussed fits a name you already respect. The Lions land in Carl Granderson. Picture him opposite Hutchinson, and it clicks. Length for days. Heavy hands that shock. Power through the sternum. He wins with strike and leverage, not empty flash. If a tackle soft sets, he forklifts. If a tackle oversets, he rips underneath and flattens. If a quarterback climbs, he long arms, compresses, and turns the pocket into a phone booth. That's not rumor mill glitter. That's drive-ending behavior. Early downs, the fit is clean. Granderson sets a hard edge, squeezes the C-gap, and keeps outside zone honest so your linebackers keep their angles. That flips 2nd and 5 into 2nd and 7, and that 2-yard difference changes your whole call sheet. Passing downs, you can run Tex and X stunts with Hutch tight because Granderson holds contain without seating the corner. 3rd and long, widen him to 9, let him long arm into a forklift, and collapse the pocket into Hutch's counter lane. Quarterbacks don't climb. They fold. Packages you use on day 1. Cinco front on early downs with Granderson wide, Hutch in a 2-point reading the mesh, and a mud backer daring the slide to go the wrong way. NASCAR on 3rd and 8 with Hutch inside on a jet, Granderson at 9, and a spinner threatening the A-gap, so the back has to choose which fire to step on. Red zone? Tighten the splits, delete the quarterback's comfort, and make him throw into compressed windows while he feels a wall at 7 yards. What this does to the division, immediately. Green Bay's tackles like the quick set and punch length blows that up. Minnesota's boot game lives on comfort edge firmness deletes comfort. Chicago's max protect play action wants a climb lane firm edges, turn the pocket into a box. Your DBS won't need to cover for 4 seconds. They'll cover for 2.7 with heat. That's a different job and a better life. Cost without drama. You're not paying superstar tax for posters. You're paying for reliable edge violence that elevates your star. The conversation is structure. How much is base? How much is snap count? What triggers? What protections? If it's a trade construct, think creative day 2 conditional packaging that fits a win-now window without sacrificing the spine of your future. No panic. No parade confetti. Just honest football math. Risks and answers. Risk. You ask a steady power rusher to be a weekly highlight reel. Answer. Crystal rolls set hard edges on early downs. Own TOT surfaces. Be the hammer in 3rd and long when the pocket squeezes to Hutch's games. Risk. Language on games and pass-offs. Answer. Simplify rules for September. Expand by the 2nd game. Risk. Cap flexibility. Answer. Incentive lean, escalators tied to real production, and graceful exit lanes if fit or health don't match expectation. Usage menu you can copy-paste. First 10 plays. Test the force player with a strong arm set edge and 1 boundary pressure to time the back. 2nd quarter, run Tex with Hutch inside twice, then bluff it and win outside. 3rd quarter, bring a spinner through the A-gap to force the back to commit, then loop Granderson into the B-gap for a free run. 4 minute, close the barn door hard edges, no bounce, make them burn timeouts on 2-yard plays. That's how you choke a game without hero speeches. Calendar view. You don't need him to be everything on day 1. You need him to be loud in places that matter. 2 high-impact series each half. 1 drive ender in the middle 8 before and after halftime. 1 red zone stand that forces a field goal instead of a touchdown. That's 7 points of swing on a night where your offense only needed 6. Quiet math, loud scoreboard, locker room temperature. Detroit's room has a simple policy. Earn it. A veteran who knows where his helmet sits, who speaks with his hands and not his mouth, who shows up on Wednesday and still has juice on Sunday. He earns it fast. That's why the fit is cultural, not just tactical. You're adding a pro to a room of pros. Standards go up. Voices don't change. Reality check. Detroit style. Is this pen on paper? No. This is a live football series scenario that makes sense on tape and on a cap table. The dots connect. Need profile, player profile, front office that acts when the value is right. There's smoke because the fit is clean. The fire is up to phones, numbers, and signatures. Straight talk. No fairy tales. Your turn, Lions fans. If this move lands, how do you script the debut snap count? Down tags, first stunt you call, and which red zone look you feature with Hutch inside and Granderson wide. Do you ever stack them on the same side in jet looks, or keep them opposite and let the games flow? Which opponent would you circle for the rollout? Drop it below, be specific. This community knows ball, and your plan belongs on a WHEBOARD. My personal opinion. I'd push for Carl Granderson. on a structure that protects the future and maximizes the now. The fit with Hutch is clean, the cost should be sane, and the impact stacks across 4 quarters in ways that show up in January. And yes, this is speculation, not an official announcement.